Welcome. Today we are taking on the role of interstellar businesses as I take a look at Star Tycoon. You'll be claiming planets, developing them and trading goods alongside a host of other activities as you expand your business across the galaxy. So this one is medium complexity, plays 1 to 6. It's 20 minutes per person, which is about right. And we can see the designer and publisher at the bottom. Now this is a preview copy, so components, colors, tokens, rules may differ slightly on the final version, and I'll put links and details for you guys in the description about the release of this game, which is coming very soon. Okay then, let's take a closer look. Okay then, what have we got going on here? So you are going to start with a home planet, boom. And on this home planet, you're going to have some starting production. You're going to have the capacity to put up to 2 of these developments under here. And you're going to play a number which determines if you are first or not. The highest number will be going first. You'll have a business, and there's loads of these. You've got your starting resources, boom, we've got some of them. And you'll have a special ability throughout the game as well. So when you refresh, you may choose to refresh any number of these rows. Usually pay 1 of these energy credits to do 1. You can do them all at the same time. And you've got this ability here to get 4 points. You're going to need 3 of these planetary systems from their Chevron. So you're looking for these green cards. So we pop our business here. We've got our home planet. We've got our resources. And this player's up. So they've got their starting planet. We've got a number 1 there. So they're going to be last in this sort of 2-player setup. They got their business, Raku Wayfaring Company. So they can buy as many developments as they like to place under this particular card. Certain victory conditions. The gas planets here. You can see these planets at the top have certain sort of conditions. So that's what they are after. And they got their starting resource based on that particular business. So there's corporations wanting to expand across the galaxy here and develop and get more profits because you're after these VPs at the end. Now you have got a load of different businesses in the game here. Loads of little quirky artwork. So yep, loads of them. You got some starting differences in terms of what you're trying to achieve for points at the end. So in this case, developments. So the more developments we get, the more points. On the reverse, maybe it's systems in one of your game, maybe it's resources in another. So a load of different ways to get end game points. In this particular game, it's development. So what are we going to do then? This player's up, they got the highest number. This is your turn order. The first thing we're going to do is replenish. First round, nothing to replenish. Move on to production. So we're looking for these little industrial symbols here in blue. That means we're going to get 1 gas and 1 ship. So we take those from the market, from the supply, add those to our hand, and we are good to go. We can do any number of actions until we just say, look, we are done. Are we going to purchase? So we can take 1 of these cards from each row. Maybe we buy this one, but then you can't take another from there. Maybe we take this one, that one, whatever. So we could buy something. Or if we don't quite have enough resource to get it now, we could take it and reserve it. And you can always have up to 1 card reserved, and you can't have any more. And you can purchase that on another round. So what are we going to do then? Maybe we are looking at our resources. We're looking at our conditions. There's no Chevron systems there. So maybe we want to pay a coin to replenish all those and put them at the bottom. We haven't got any of these energy credits, which are coins. So we're going to make some energy credits. We're going to go to the market. We're looking at the moment. It's going to get 1 resource. They will start here. So we can trade any 1 resource to get a credit or energy credit. So we're going to go and do this. Well, actually, I'm not going to do a resource. I'm going to do a ship. So we look at the row of the ships, hand that back to the supply, and I'm going to get myself an energy credit. Now, when you sell, it goes to the left. So we've sold in this particular resource, goes to the left, and you flip it over because you can only ever do 1 transaction of that particular resource in your turn. So now we have an energy credit. We're going to spend that. We're going to refresh these. So there's a lot of flexibility. If you're not quite getting what you're after, we're going to draw 3 more from the top. Yes, we've hit a Chevron. What can we do to get it? Well, each card here has resources in the left, which is the cost. So we're going to need a ship. We do. And if you didn't, you could go to the market. But we couldn't in this case because we've already utilised that for a sell action. But we do have a resource. We spend that one. We take this card and we add it to our planetary systems. Now, this particular one, you can see we're trying to get 3 of these Chevron system planets. Once we've got 3 round here, any particular spot, we're going to get those 4 VP at the end of the game. But each planet has their own sort of things you're trying to do. So in this case, we could get 4 victory points for having these corporations that have got production sites underneath us. We can have up to 3 of these production sites. You can see the hammer symbol matches there. So if we had, in this case, a red, which there is none at the moment, so there's no greens as well. Maybe this grey one, we can see there's a grey one here. Can we try and buy that to get 1/3 of the way to getting those 4 victory points? Now, we've already purchased off this row, so we can't do anything else. We could try and buy this. We're going to need some minerals and energy credits. Have we got minerals? No. Can we can trade with opponents, but they haven't got it either. So we need credits as well. We could buy one from the market, the Galactic Exchange. But we haven't got any money to do that, so maybe we can make some money. So we're going to go and sell this food here. So you can see the row of the food we're selling, so it's going to the left, and we're going to get, where it was at the beginning, 1 credit. We're now going to buy, well, we need 1 credit, but we need some minerals as well. So we're going to buy some minerals. So we put the coin back. We take a minerals because it's 1 coin for 1 resource at the moment. But we bought something, so we take it to the right this time. So you can see this demand and supply element of the market. So we put it X coin. If we've got a mineral, we still need a coin. How are we going to make a coin? Well, we have got some gas here, and we can sell that at the exchange. So we move it to the left to sell, and we've gained ourselves a coin. So you can do any of these particular actions in any order as many times as you want. So we're going to now spend these 2 resources back to the supply, and we're going to take this card. Do we have production to put it under somewhere? Yes. 3 of these little hammer symbols here and 2 here. No cards underneath, so we're going to pop it underneath. Now, once you put it underneath, you cannot move them. Now, we've put it under here because we're after these 3. We're set collecting those, and this is one of them. We're 1/3 to the way of completing this for the end game 4 points. We've also, in the meantime, got an extra production, so we're getting more of these little blue industrial symbols. So we're going to be producing a research icon on future rounds. Now, the resources, this is all of them. You've got your minerals, your gas, your food, your research, and your ships. But there's also some illegal goods, and you'll notice these have a different shape, because if you see this icon around the board, that relates to these. If it says in the rules, any resources, then it may be these 2 as well. So that's why they got different shapes. Now, illegal goods can be very handy, because some of these cards, you can see this one, you can pay in illegal goods rather than paying the full quantity of resources on the left there. So what else can we do then? We've purchased cards. Maybe we like the look of one of these, but we just haven't got the resource. So we're going to take this one. We're just going to put it in our reserve, if I can say that right. Right. So we've done purchasing. We've done reserving. You can't reserve these Diamond Corporation ones, and you can't reserve these partnerships. And I'll come into what they do in a minute. We can barter, so we can barter with our opponents. Be like, right, I'll trade you 1 for 1. Maybe I'll trade, one of these abilities you've got. So there's quite a lot of flexibility over bartering. You can also auction, and I'll demonstrate auctioning now with another player. So these guys are busy doing their own thing. The other players are like, I really want one of those cards. Now, at the moment, they can't reserve one of these or one of these, because that would have to go into your reserve, and you can't do that with these. You can't auction to get that into reserve. It's a bit too late to do it on these because they've already took one off them. But let's just say, I believe you can actually. So what you have to do is spend a resource, you put it on the card you want, let's say it's that one, and the other players, if they want to engage in this auction, would just beat the bid. So let's say another player puts 2 on there. Well, there's only a 2-player game, so hypothetically, someone puts 2 on there. When the active player, which is this player, has either finished their turn or they replenish the row by some chance, then this card goes to the highest bidder. Now, it goes in their reserve. The amount they paid is just to have it in your reserve. They still have to pay the production cost on a future turn. Or let's just assume this was a full row and they'd gone to put an auction on that, but this player's like, no, I actually want that. All these bids go back, and this player just gets it and they build it, or they put it in their reserve if they've got capacity. So an extra little twist to this game where players can try and attain cards on other players' turns. And that, folks, is pretty much all you're doing in your round. So we've kind of utilised the Galactic Exchange, nothing left to do here. We've bought from each row. We can't afford any of these. I think we're done. The last thing you do at the end of your turn is discard down to 7 resources. So that's a combination of all of these, but You can't discard your illegal goods, so they'll hog up your capacity. Now, if you do have more than 7, you're going to have to discard your choice, but whatever you discard, if we discard this food, it moves the actual market, so it has an influence on it, and it'll move it to the left as if you've sold it. Even if there's an X there, it just goes one to the side for each particular resource you sell. Well, not sell, you've had to give it away for free, you're not getting any money. So that's what happens at the end there, and play passes on. So these guys would replenish, and now they would bring these ones out. Boom, boom, boom. They flip these markets, so this is where the market stands for them, and that is important because now, if they want to buy one of these, it's going to cost them 2 money. But if they want to buy one of these here, they have to pay 1 money, but get 2 resources. So the further you are to the left, you're getting more goods. Further you are to the right, you're paying more. Now you get your production. So these guys, look at their cards. They're going to get one of these research symbols and a food, because you're looking at there. And off they go. They do any number of those actions, and they made, and then at the end, you're discarding down to 7 or less. And you keep going, and then when you get back to your start player, they move the round on, and you start a new round, do exactly the same thing. Once you get to one of these exclamation marks in the future round, you bring out one of these, reveal it straight away before you've replenished or produced, and you do whatever it says. So we've got a building boom. Each player draws a card in turn from the development 1 deck. Well, I'm not going to read it all, but yeah, there's a host of events here. All rosary fresh, crime sprees, debt forgiveness, moving day. So loads of goodness there. And you keep going. Once you get to the last round, you will score up victory points. Now, a few things I've not gone through. Partnerships. Fantastic, folks. If you manage to get the research icons for one of these, Hex Industries, all of these Hex Industries, you see that yellow symbol, are free. So if you have this, you can be like, right, I'm having this one. So still one from a row. And as long as you got the capacity to put it under a planet, that's yours, no costs. This one you can have for free. So if you manage to get one of these, happy days there. And what else we've got? We've got bank loans. So if you're a bit harder, you can take one of these bank loans, you get 5 money, and you're paying 1 interest every time it comes back round to that production phase at the beginning. And if you can't pay it off, you're allowed to do an exchange to make some money. If you still can't do that, you forgo your production that round, and you have to, you're trying to pay that 5 money off at some point later on in the game. Otherwise, it's going to be negative 5 points. And that is pretty much it. So in terms of the end game, then what VPs are you going to get? You're going to get VPs from this particular target here. So in this case, developments, county developments, boom. You're going to get VPs from your starting business. If you got these free cards, yep, you get money. If you've had any other planets along the way and you got goals, some goals need partnerships with corporations. So what I mean by that is you need the matching symbols. Some of them, you need the actual production. So you need to be able to produce these resources underneath to fulfill that. There's other ways of these communication arrays where if you collect these particular communication arrays, you're going to get more points. That symbol doesn't mean just any old blue card, has to be these communication arrays. And there's points sometimes just on the card, so 5 VPs for having that one. And you just add up all the points. Most points is the winner. There we are. Enjoy.